All right, just gonna give it a couple of seconds here to get queued up and setting up for custom streaming service on Zoom. This is live streaming. All right, we should be good to go here momentarily.
All right,
All
looking good, looking
right,
good.
just
Okay.
gonna give it a couple of seconds. Okay, there we go. We're all set. All systems go, as they say, right? All systems go. All right, and I just want to tell you something here. We are recording this. Where is the record button? Let's get this on the go. Here we go. Record. Here we go. All right, we got it together. Good evening, folks. It's 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern. I just flipped over to 8:01. We're broadcasting actually right here from Orlando, beautiful sunny Florida right here on vacation. Actually, sort of a working vacation. We're down here at the Orlando Money Show. We just finished it up yesterday after 3 days. Met with a lot of great people here. And just want to thank you all for stopping by to say hi, including Faith S. She stopped by and very nice lady and got interested, and a lot of people were interested. A lot of people came to our live trading room. Right, we actually we had a trading room here on I guess it would have been Friday, and we had a little internet issues. So my good friend John Johnson and I, we muddled through that at the hotel. I don't understand these hotels, these resorts. I mean, it's a beautiful place, very expensive, and they had it all together. But for some reason, I think maybe everybody's just on the internet at the same time. Not really sure, but we had a few issues, but we got through no problem. Kind of bounced in and out, and I understand we made some money in the trading room on Friday, as we did in front of the live audience, which is great to have everybody there too. And we also did some other presentations as well. Anyway, let's get started, folks, and hopefully we'll see you at the next event, right? Okay, so tonight, unfortunately, I don't have a camera working, so or maybe fortunately, you don't get to see my face. This is a picture of me and my beautiful dog Lucy. I love her so much. I miss her dearly every day. But anyway, we are what we are here. No camera tonight. It is Sunday, October the 19th, and we are going to take a look and see what happened here. Probably a bit of a shortened version here tonight. Folks, questions box, you'll find the like icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. I am the only one that sees that, so go ahead and say whatever you want. Okay. Might want to punch in where you're from. I see hello from St. Louis. St. Louis, good evening. Phil from, I believe, Las Vegas, right, Phil? And a few other people here chiming in already. Let us know in the questions box where you're from. This way, I can also see that the questions box is functioning properly, which I believe it is. Okay. All right. Any questions or comments? Put them in there. Kind of keep it in general. Any specific questions? We'll probably address those in the trading room. Maureen from Singapore. Maureen T. Good to have you here. Matthew G. Central Florida. We also have Maureen. No, not Maureen. Lauren. Lauren C. from Niagara Falls, and she's actually going to school in Central Florida. Santa Barbara, California. Twinsburg. Another one from Philippines. Wow. Okay. All right. How many people were in the hall or room on Friday morning when the trading room started? I only stayed around for about 25 minutes. We had quite a few. I'm not really sure. I never counted, but it was a good. It was a good. It was a good crowd. It was a good crowd. They ended up staying. Actually, what happened was we're only supposed to start at 10:30 in the trading room, but people started showing up a lot earlier. So by the time I think 10:30, 11 o'clock rolled around, we had a pretty good crowd. So. Anyhow, all right, who else do we have here? Okay, I'm just kind of going through the list here as I scroll down. All right, just give me half a second here. I'm working off a different computer than I normally do. So, Savannah, Georgia, good to see you here. Okay, heard John Bassano charts. Oh, yeah. Friday was a bit of a fiasco, I'm going to tell you. And if you were in the trading room, whether you were live in the trading room with us at the Lionsgate um, Omni Resort, or whether you're in the trading room, I apologize if there's some technical issues, but we're back to normal tomorrow. All right, back to normal tomorrow. So, all right, let's go. Let's move along here, folks. There's the disclaimer. I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds while you read that. And while you go over that, so just give me a second while I turn down the air conditioning here, folks. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, my wife likes it really cold. I like it kind of not so cold. We always fight over that. I'm hot. Oh, I know you are, but no, you're not that hot. I like it warm. Anyway, you are responsible for your trading and past performance does not guarantee future results. And all that said, good trading, folks. That's what we always say every morning, isn't it? I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about last week. Take a look at that. We're going to talk about what's coming up next week. We're going to have your next steps to success, some Q&A, and we're going to do a little contest. Unfortunately, no 2-minute tutorial today because we just didn't have time to get anything ready for you. And yeah, we are sort of working vacation, if you want to call it that. But things will be back to normal tomorrow. All right, and my name is Hugh. Now, how many people are new here? Let me know in the questions box if you are new to this webinar. We do this every Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Even when we're not in our regular offices, um, we like to keep things going here, keep the momentum going. Every now and then, I think once every few years, we do not do a Sunday night session. Okay. Several weeks ago, we had to skip it because we're actually on vacation in Europe, and it was it's just not going to happen, right? Quite frankly. In Europe at 8 o'clock at night, it would have been about, I think, two in the morning, and I wasn't going to be up here. All right. So, what happened here? What's my history? I used to be with corporate America many years ago, and my financial advisor, who I used to give my money to invest in the future, had blown up about half my account. When I realized, oh, this is not good, um, basically I just cut off ties with him and requested my funds, and I realized I have to learn how to do this myself. Being from an internal audit background, I was quite comfortable with numbers and risk and different things, so set out to learn this stuff. I took a lot of different courses, but most of what I learned that I teach, I only teach what I learned here that I use myself. I learned from the trenches, deep in the trenches. So that's really where you learn the really good stuff. Okay. Right. Some of these other courses, they give you a lot of theory. Well, theory is nice in the theory world, but in reality, there's some really cool things you got to know, right? If you want to be successful. Anyway, I discovered some pretty cool strategies other people noticed. They coerced me to teach them, and now we are teaching, and we have been doing this internationally since 2010. So we're actually in our 17th year now. And I'm looking for short-term breakout trades, short-term breakout trades. So what happened was about 3 years ago, I guess we got the attention of Eagle Financial Publications, and they made us a deal we couldn't refuse. They bought us out. Yes, they bought us out. We sold out. We sold out our souls. But then they hired us back, back to corporate America. Okay. Can't get away from corporate America. But we got a really good thing going. Got a really, really good thing going. And thank you for that, Mark. And yes, Maureen, Lucy is my pet. My beautiful British Mountain Dog. We had to put her down a few months ago, and she's just getting too old at 12 and a half years of age, but she will live in our hearts forever. Anyway, getting back to trading here. Um, yeah, Eagle bought us back, and then they brought in John Johnson. See, John Johnson was with Eagle for many years. He had a publication or something, a subscription service, but so he retired. Now, John's actually a lawyer, and he retired from law to trade. So he is now with me in the trading room. We do this together, and the inner circle and everything else that we do together. So he's part of the whole DayTradeSPY group. And it's really kind of cool because, and I'll tell you about this more later, but he has his set of indicators that he uses, and I have my set of indicators that I like to use. And we have a saying that when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. When our indicators unite, our trades ignite. So if he says
Indeed, we
something,
do.
there he is. There's the man of the hour. Good evening, John. How are you? I didn't even notice you're on.
Oh, I just thought I'd make a jump on real quick. Yeah, just to say thanks to everyone who came over during the show. It was great. Really appreciate that. And didn't want to interrupt, just want to say thanks. And yep, and we do have our indicators that are different. And when they get together, we make some money. And we were doing that on Friday at the show, despite all the internet down. But
Oh
anyway,
my gosh, that
it,
was an amazing thing that you did. I don't know how we I don't know how we pulled it together because the funny thing is I was talking to the group and you're talking to the people online and I don't know somewhere in there's a lot of mishmash back and forth, but we made it happen. I guess we
yeah, we
made it
made some
happen
money too.
and we made some money.
That was a cool thing. We made there was a lot of volatility. The implied volatility was high. And because of all the tariffs and then the bank issues and then, hey, we don't care. Later in the session, it was hey, we
Oh
don't care. And Hugh and I were sitting there watching it and we were both like looking at each other and we kind of went, yeah, yeah. I said, what's happening right now, folks, is we're going to transition now. We're going to move from what we just saw, that sell off. We had a rally and then a sell off. I said, we're going to transition and we're going to move up from here. And he was up, yep. And he was saying, I'd buy right here. And I was saying, I would buy right here. And that was when, boom, back to the upside then. So it worked
oh,
out really well.
and the funny thing is people were they were in awe
They were
and
amazed.
they
It's like,
were
how do you know that?
and yet you and I are just like it's a natural thing, right? Like this is
Right,
yeah, of course, so, well, of course, and we didn't break a sweat or anything throughout the whole thing. We just yeah, this is where I would break, get in and there's sometimes it'll kind of reverse on us a little bit. Here's no worries, just hold on, and we got
right.
the ABCD pattern and this and that and whatever, and we played it all out. We showed up our indicators. I was afraid, John, that we actually confused everybody with all those indicators and different things that we had on the charts, but
But here's
um,
the bottom line. We made the point, as you just did, that we come at it from two different ways, but the results showed it went exactly where we said it was going to go.
yeah. Absolutely. And folks, I got your picture and your bio on the screen here.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, oh yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, because a lot of people, they hear me all the time. I know they're tired of hearing me, like
Okay.
like I would be. I'm tired of hearing myself. So you tell us
Well,
what you
that's
did. Tell us your background.
you're in luck because I never tire of hearing myself. At least that's what I'm told. Anyway, yeah, it comes from my background. I was commercial litigation. I was started in the oil and gas industry when there was no jobs, and so I was able to get a job out of school, and I was able to talk my way into getting a crew up in the Rocky Mountain region and doing a play there. I was 24 years old and I had 40, 35, 40 people. At one time, it was almost 50 working for me. So I'm here, a
Wow.
little snot-nosed 24-year-old guy running a crew up there in Rocky Mountains, and eventually that played out, and I was supposed to go down, where was it, to Kansas or something like that, and I didn't really want to go there, and so I ended
Yeah.
up going to law school. And because I saw a lot of the people out in the oil and gas industry, they were in law, and you had that extra, if I had had a law degree, then I really would have made some money. I mean, I made some money. I made money off of, my people I had working for me and that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll go do that and I'll come back to the oil field and I'll make a killing. And well, it turned out I kind of liked it. And so I met some really dynamic people and I was doing that old legal thing for a while, and I was about to make shareholder and decided didn't like to do that, didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was trading stocks at the time, and I was pretty good at it. And my brokers started following, just the same story as you. They started following trades, said, "Hey, can we follow your trades? Can I put my clients on your trades?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, just get me filled first." And I was,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't care. And then I started talking to them, and they say, "Hey, well, can you talk to some clients?" I did that, and then someone said, "Hey, you just ought to do this." And then, much to my broker's chagrin, I had several of them, but I just said, "Yeah." I started writing a newsletter. I ran into a buddy of mine, and he had this little newfangled thing on the internet going, and next thing you know, we had a pretty big deal going. Eagle picked us up, and then I was ready to retire, and years went by, ready to retire, and I was did. And then my wife, who was selling her company, well, they made her an offer she couldn't refuse because they weren't quite ready to pull the trigger. So I had nothing to do about that time. Eagle called me back up and said, "Hey, we got a guy over here who's trading the spy. You used to do that. You wanted to meet him?" And I said, yeah, sure, I'll meet him. Don't have much to do now." And then we went over, and sure enough, we're trading the spy the same way. And so it's a perfect fit. We got along great, and I mean, it's a great synergy. We have just a bunch of fun in the trading room. And we also make a lot of money. And
Yeah.
that's the cool thing. We have fun and we make a lot of money and then we knock off and go do what we want to do. And that's my goal in life, is to get you at that point where you can come in make your money, and then just go do what you want to do the rest of the day. For me, that's bike riding or horse ride, back riding. It's always playing with my grandson, and taking care of our ranch, and that's what I love to do. And nope, that's why I'm here. So there you go, in a
That's
nutshell.
that's really what it's all about, and you get to travel a little bit. And I'm so glad to meet your wife, your lovely wife, and finally, you talked a lot about her, and
Likewise.
finally it's just yeah, thank you. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and nice to get together with our bosses, uh,
Yeah, that's kind of strange,
Roger
isn't
and
it? We
Jack.
got
Is
bosses.
We have bosses now. Back to corporate America. That's the real irony of the whole thing. We
I know.
traded
Never said I'd have a boss again, but
me
well,
too. Can't believe it. And I swore up and down I'll never work for corporate America again, and here we are. You just can't avoid it.
yeah. But you know what?
But
It's
but it's a little
fun though.
bit different. It's
If it
different. It's
wasn't fun,
yeah,
yeah. If it
it's
wasn't
different.
fun, we wouldn't be doing it. So, but that's the whole thing. And
Yeah,
teaching. And I said to the show several times. I want to reiterate this right now because I was just told my steak is ready. So I'm going to go grab a steak and eat it. I just wanted to say
yeah,
hey to everyone, but
yeah,
um, uh, it's really cool because I came on with you in February,
yeah.
and people came on after that, and those people, as of late summer and definitely now, are fantastic traders. They have learned our system, and quite frankly, when we're hosting and talking, they're faster than we are at getting in now trades, just
Oh
because
yeah.
we're handling, juggling all of the show kind of, and getting the trades, making sure you get. We identify the trades for you so that you can get into them. And then by the time I get around, a lot of times, like, well, I'm not really going to make that trade now because it's already, that's already up and they're making their money off of it. So, but that's the cool thing. It is so doable that you can get in here and learn this stuff and
Yeah.
be trading and make those, either one trade or two trades or four or five trades or what a day and make your money. There's 260 trading days in a year. And for the kids, a lot of them like to make a couple hundred, 300 bucks a day, and they're happy, tickle pink with that. That's another one of their income sources because they're in that gig kind of
Yep.
industry, the
Yep.
gig mindset. But for stuff older folks like you and myself, we come in, we make our few trades, we make whatever we want to make a day. It is whatever our goal is, and we make that, and then we go do what we want to do. And that
Yeah.
is the really cool thing about this. It's very empowering. You become independent. You don't have to rely on anyone else. And that's the life-changing event there for you. And that's where we want everyone to be. And a lot of it may already be there, but
Yeah.
this just gives you a way to make that extra income and then knock off and do what you want to do.
Well, the funny thing is, and we get this all the time. People say to us, "Oh my gosh, I just started subscribing to you, and in my first day, day or two, I made the full subscription price for the full month or year or whatever, quarter, whatever." And they can't believe it. It's incredible,
Yeah,
you know.
no,
And
yeah, and
yeah,
everyone takes it at their own pace, and then and you ramp it up when you need to ramp it up, and we're always there to talk to you about it. I mean, we answer quite a few
yep,
emails, I can tell you that
yep,
much. But that's the whole thing. And then we have the Wednesday night, like
yep,
tonight. I'll be out on Wednesday night, and I'll be teaching about those AB equals CD patterns, and why I knew and he knew. We were both. I mean, it was funny because we were watching. It's like and we're like.
yep.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and say it. It's going to go back up
It's
now,
gonna go back
but
up. Yeah, we
we're
were right.
yeah, and
Uh,
so you'll be able to see that, and you'll understand that, and you'll be able to profit from it as well.
yeah,
And we were discussing the intricacies about when Hugh would have entered before me. I mean, yeah, I
yeah,
just I wanted to see the test, got the
yeah,
test, and both made excellent money on it. So it's just
yeah,
we'll show you how to do it because we're going to be doing it while we're showing you how to do
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's really good, really good.
So anyway, I want
So,
to get that in on you. Anything
yep.
else you want me to talk about right now, or anything?
Yeah. How do you like your steak, John? Well done. Burger?
Medium
Medium.
rare.
Medium rare. Wow.
This is one of our Santa Gertrudis cattle.
Oh, okay.
One of our steers that we had
You
butchered earlier in the year.
you
So
you butcher your own cattle. That must be tough to do. Like you don't treat them like pets, obviously. But
no, no, no. These are
oh,
eating fellas, and um,
yeah.
as a matter of fact, we're taking several to market because the prices are so incredibly high right now that
Wow.
we're supposed to sell some. We've got some that are really good and fat, and oh wow, beautiful sunset. And we got really it's ridiculous prices right now. What they're getting for beef for a steer. It
Well,
used
yeah,
it
you
used
told
to
me
be
the
like
other
it'd be
day.
about
Couldn't believe it.
$600, for 'em. Two grand right now. 2 grand for the same size steer. Amazing.
So when you say 2 grand for the same size tier, what is it, like a
Meat on the
full,
hoof, baby.
full,
He's
real,
alive. You're
wow.
buying
Oh,
him
wow.
alive.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and then you go and have him butchered and cut up the way you want to.
So for those who don't know, John's got a ranch in Texas, and he's a real Texan guy. He's got the hat, the whole. It's so good to
I
talk to you
got
guys,
it
meet you
all.
guys. Oh, you got yeah, yeah. I tell ya, it was such a
I come with
blast.
all the cowboy accoutrements, although I'm not really a cowboy. I like to play, but
Ah,
I
you're
have.
a gentleman. You're a gentleman
There you
farmer
go.
type of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
gentleman farmer. Yeah,
yeah.
understood. Yeah.
I have my horse Apache. He's an American paint horse. I've had him for, gosh, over 20 years now, and
Wow.
we're buddies. And I think we're going to post a video about me and him in a little bit on
Yeah.
YouTube. But yeah. So it's we do it. We do the thing, and
Speaking of which, how many of you guys out there, please tell us in the questions box if you're interested in getting into social media because we're a little on the late comers, Johnny come lately guys on that, but we're looking at getting into social media in a sort of a big way. Let us know what would excite you. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
yeah.
Reddit, Facebook. Yeah, let us know which is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
interesting
that
to
would be
you.
good to know where to post all this stuff because
It
we're
would, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
but
think
yeah,
it'd be
that's
really
gonna be
exciting.
exciting. I'm excited about it. We've got, Hugh and I've been making some videos. We got backlogs of videos, and I got
Yeah.
a bicycle that I ride. I loved. I got this like what I call it the my daughter actually calls it the Bugatti of bicycles.
Oh
It's
gosh, that's
it's
so funny.
it's a much faster bike than I am a rider. But it's like what the hell? Who cares? It's like I tricked it out, everything. I could be riding on the pro circuit and I would be about 100 miles behind them, but I
Yeah,
have the same equipment that they're riding. But I do it because I love it. And so you
yeah,
know what? I'm an old guy. I can go out and buy this
yeah.
bike if I want to.
Yeah,
And
no, the last, oh, John, I gotta ask you. Okay, so the last time I was in bicycling, we had we had the streamers coming off the handlebars, and we put the cards in the spokes to make the sound. You obviously don't do that,
no, no, no. Those would not be arrow, Hugh. Those would create drag, and I create enough drag myself. It's because I'm not as
oh
svelte as
God.
I used to be, so I don't want to have any further drag on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go. I was going to try to take my bike in when we went into Houston um, to catch the airplane, but wasn't enough time. So I'm going to have the newest group set derailleur and all that stuff, drivetrain
Wow.
on it. So, but yeah, because it's like yeah, because it's just I want to have the fastest shifty one. Not going to make a damn bit of difference in how fast I ride, but I used to be good. I used to be good. I'm just getting old now. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, I like to have fun wherever I go, whatever the situation calls for. So flying down to Florida here, I end up registering late, and we I got on a Southwest. It was actually kind of all late. I never gave it much thought until sort of the last minute, but I got on the Southwest flight,
Oh,
and I
really?
and I never got onto the A group, not even the B group. I got so they group you, okay? They group you, and there's C. That's C for cattle. Okay, right?
I
And
know it's
then
a cattle call.
and then they put you into groups, 0 to 30, 31 to 60, and there I am. I think I was C 40 or 50 something. So obviously I walk in and I'm in the last group, and there's not a lot of seats left, and of course they're right all in the middle, right? So then I of course I'm thinking here, okay, how can I make this work? This is going to be a long 2.5 hour flight, and I got to make this really, really work. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to look for somebody I'd like to sit with for the next 2.5 hours. And of course, I find a nice young lady and sit with her and just start chatting it up a little bit. I'm just kind of friendly, making a joke with her and stuff. And I find, John, when you make them laugh, they just kind of loosen right up. Um, but I won't tell you some of the jokes I told her, but I said, oh, I know. So the very first when I sit down, I said, you're really disappointed, aren't you? You're really hoping nobody was going to sit here. I said, but it could have been a lot worse. I could have been some big fat guy named Albert who hasn't had a bath in 2 months. Okay, so
Not
she
Albert, baby.
she looks at me like, oh, like this guy's crazy, right? But I had her laughing at no time at all. And then we got on talking, and actually the flight was really nice. Her name is Lauren,
Lauren,
and
okay.
Lauren. I never met a Lauren I didn't
Well,
like. Yep, and we
well,
were
there you
we
go.
we were best of friends when we
How Will
left.
Rogers is of you.
Yeah, we were best of friends. She even gave me a hug.
Oh,
She even at the end
wow.
we
You know, I
walked. Yeah,
sat
it
next
was like
to
a little date. Yeah, we had a little date. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I
So
sat
yeah,
next to this beautiful blonde woman, and she gave me a hug as well when
yeah. She's your wife. She's your wife.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah, she's supposed
yeah.
to. It's in the contract, right?
Yeah, she's the one. She's the woman you're under contract with. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
anybody.
my-
Anyway,
oh,
let me read you some stuff. Like John, he's one of our
yeah.
subscribers. Anybody listening that are not participating, this is really fun and profitable with you and John. I've been on here for over a year now. Exclamation point, exclamation
Yeah.
point. All right. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Discord, Instagram. There we go.
Oh, wow. Good stuff. Good
There we go.
stuff.
So we go. Folks,
Uh,
it's been real. It's been great. I'm going to head out now. Wednesday, join
yeah,
up. Come and see
yeah,
me on Wednesday, and I'll start teaching you about those AB equals CD patterns that we used. We had them up, we had them down, and
yeah,
they went exactly where we said they were going to go. And we made money exactly the
yeah,
way we said we were going to make on them.
yeah,
And then we called the transition for the day when it went back to the upside. So
yeah,
if you want to know how to read the market and know how to do that, listen to Hugh tonight and then
yeah.
come over and I'll give you the technical side the way I look at it on Wednesday night. So,
There you go.
man, you got the best of all worlds with that.
Yeah. John, enjoy your steak before it gets too well done, and then you're not going to like it.
All
So
right.
I'm not going to keep you up. Thank you
Y'all take
very much
care.
for joining, and thanks for doing the update on that. I appreciate that too. And
No worries. I had to
yeah,
get
we're
those
all good.
good trades out, man. They
I
were so good. I
know.
had to get them
I
on the
know.
record. All right,
All
folks.
right, then.
Well,
Have a good one.
hopefully I'll see you sometime this week and then maybe Wednesday. All right. Y'all take
Sounds
care.
good.
Listen to
All
this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
right. Thank you so much, John. All right.
All right.
All right, moving along here. So don't forget, of course, Spy on the Market. This is our weekly newsletter that goes out every Thursday. It falls right into your inbox. You don't have to do anything about it. Just open it up. If you don't want to subscribe, by the way, to subscribe, very easy. All you have to do is just click on the website, daytradespy.com. And up at well, when you get I'm just trying to find it right now. When you get the pop-up, okay, when you get the pop-up, then just subscribe. Okay. And I'm just trying to find it right now. I'm working on two small monitors. It's a little bit tough right now, but this is it right here. DayTradeSPY. This is our website. So you'll get the pop-up here. Excuse me. And what I want to do is, if you don't want to subscribe, just go up to the top left corner right there where it says Spy on the Market. That actually is our newsletter. And just click on that, and all of our newsletters, our prior newsletters, are all listed down there. And you should be able to, where is it? Spy on the Market newsletters. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I thought there was okay, wait a second here. Spy on the Market. Okay. And then the newsletters, they should all be here. And I believe on the bottom, they should have, they should all be, you should be able to, well, here it is, more articles. That's it. This is it right here. Okay. So we've got them all listed down here, and you can go all the way back. I think we've got something like 108 or 110 of these things, and they're entertaining. All right. They're short, 3-minute read. Here's one. We recently did it. We just turned $5,000 into $50,000 in less than a year. Our goal was to do that in 1 year, but we actually did it in less than 9 months, and we're going to probably do that again starting in January. Anyway, you'll see it here. Talk about trading goodwill, black swan events. This talks about what happened 2 Fridays ago when the market tanked. SPY dropped 24 points. So we talk a little bit about that. Anyway, you can read upon that. These sessions are actually these emails are entertaining. They're insightful. They're relevant. And this week's topic is going to be the power of options. the power of options. I know there are a lot of new people, and we met a lot of new people who didn't really, who were not very familiar with options. So this week we're going to talk about, the power of options. People are saying, what are options? What is this? I've only traded stocks, or I'm in the penny stocks, or whatever. So, oh man, I'll tell you, this is where it's at. The options. So anyway, right. So start there. And by the way, in addition to some comments that John was making, so I saw a couple of people here saying that Wednesday's a bad night. These sessions are recorded. Our Sunday night sessions are recorded, and our Wednesday night sessions are recorded. Those are part of the inner circle. Our trading room sessions are recorded, so pretty well everything we do is actually recorded. All right. All right. So moving along. Yeah, all right. So this here is a look at last week. What happened? Some really, really good bounce here. Let me just expand on it. This is what happened not a couple days ago, but last Friday. The whatever that was, October. Oh, I don't even have my calendar in front of me. Actually, I do. This was again not this Friday, but the Friday before, which would have been October the I want to say the 11th, October the 10th. The market was dropped because President Trump said something about, oh, China, we're gonna nail 100% tariffs on them. I'm supposed to have a meeting with Jinping Singh, whatever his name is, but I'm canceling it. There's no need to. Anyway, the market did not respond very positively to that, dropped 24 points. By the way, I should tell you, there are some people in same day call options, 0 day expiration call options, which we advise against unless you're really experienced and you know the risks and all that other stuff. But those people unfortunately lost money because as soon as the market, went down, it never recovered, obviously here. However, what we do is we do preach some time, make sure that no matter what, even though we want to be in and out in a few minutes, we still like to buy time. Time is your insurance. And those people that bought time, well, they did okay, relatively speaking. Could have lost it all, but they didn't. By Monday, we have recovered a lot of the loss. By Tuesday, it came down a bit, but by Wednesday, we're not quite back to where we started. And some people lost maybe 10 or 20 or even 30%, but the accolades we got there were phenomenal because they said I could have lost a lot more as it turned out. These are outlier events. We call them black swan events. My latest newsletter talks about that. So what happened here on Monday? Well, the S&P, along with other major indices or indexes, however you want to say that, gained significantly after Friday's 24-point meltdown. It's just a natural, technical, right, recovery. By that I mean that when SPY hits a certain price, it's going to trigger buyers to come in, and as the buyers come in, they start adding to the price, the demand. The demand starts pushing it back up, and we had a lot of pre-market move back to the upside. Actually, we did quite well on that one. Tuesday, SPY closed slightly lower from the previous day, driven by conflicting data and renewed U.S.-China trade tensions. We did come down. Excuse me. By Wednesday, markets rose some pre-market drop as earnings started to roll, and mostly positive bank reports. The big banks all started posting their earnings for Q3 and start to come back up here. SPY actually ended up the day 0.4% higher. And by Thursday, more U.S. government shutdown issues persisted with worries over regional banks reporting bad loans and fraud. And I need to make that correction here. I don't like typos. Where did I go? And fraud. Okay, here it is right here. Get the A in there. Okay, let's do this again. All right, and fraud, as well as trade tensions, weighed heavy on SPY, knocked it back down again, and it continued in pre-market into Friday. Then Trump's remarks over U.S. China. Again, I got another typo in the China. Let's see. China trade tensions. Easing shot SPY back up to recover a volatile week, and we ended up 0.5% higher on Friday. So looks like the markets are going back up. Um, I think it was last Sunday, was it? I can't remember now. There's some concerns about, oh my gosh, is this the beginning of a major meltdown? They said, no, I don't think it is. As it turns out, it isn't. We've got enough recovery here that we're going to be pushing back up, and I expect this coming week to be a move back to the upside. Excuse me. This is a look at the seasonals. That blue line up at the top is where the SPY currently is, and the red line at the bottom is the average of last 5 years SPY's closing price. Okay, and so I'm just wondering here if I can maybe change the color of this. Let me see, format the shape. I don't like the color of that. I think that color needs to be a little lighter. Let's try this here. Is that better? That's a little bit better. Yeah, it was a little darker before. So anyway, moving along here, this is what happened here. If we look at historical numbers, we saw that SPY actually rose about 4 points from last week. And coming into the next week, it actually rose about 1 point the following week. Now, we had that situation last week where SPY dropped, but seasonally, this is kind of where it worked out. No, there's no telling that's going to happen again. But if you're going to sort of base a lot of your decisions on, well, I don't want to go against history. We've got a pretty flat week coming up with a small rise. All right. And we'll see where that takes us. So, and I agree with that because earnings are still rolling in. They will be for a while. All the big names will be coming in. There's going to be a lot of big names coming in this week. All right. Um, we had last week after a 6 month steady, really rally, 6 month steady rally, and this is one of the drawbacks of using small monitors. You get the it's very difficult to see sometimes when you write this stuff here, but we're still showing signs of fatigue with the ongoing U.S.-China trade tensions. Okay, government shutdown, emerging concerns about small banks' credit, quality shifting investors to safer havens. Gold, right? Gold enjoys some really good, uh, mo- you know, um, new highs. Not sure where it sits back there now, but and I don't really follow gold, but I know that that's a safe haven. And when you see this happening, and you start thinking that okay, so but the market's still relatively pretty strong. So we're not really coming down yet. The recent pullback is not a sign of a prolonged bear market, as some people were concerned about. I don't think it is at all. I think we're going to be in for a bounce. And October is traditionally a pretty volatile month. You'll see ups and downs in October, but if we could just trade what we see, make a few bucks every day, nothing wrong with that. Fed Reserve rate cut, positive earnings, and supportive fiscal policy point to a solid fundamentals for the year to come as well, next year as well. Earnings season is now underway. Banks are showing better than forecast results, and not just the banks, but the other companies as well. I think it's Bloomberg Intelligence is reporting something like a 7.2% increase over last year's earnings for Q3. So things are on the positive track right there. While tariff concerns remain, inflation is largely contained. All right. And here's a look at CPI numbers, inflation numbers, largely contained, although still above the Fed's 2% target for inflation. Bit of a spread here. U.S. core inflation is sitting around 3.1%. They're looking for 2.9 here. It's the CPI right now. So it's starting to come down a little bit and see what happens next little while. But most of the Fed members are in favor of at least one more rate cut this year, and a lot of looking at two rate cuts this year. So here's what the markets did. Some of the stats: S&P 500 grew 1.7% this week, up to year to date 13.3. Dow Jones ran up 1.6, and the Nasdaq, the tech-heavy Nasdaq, ran up 2.1% this week to a high of 17.4. All right. Coming up, week ahead, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a low no news day. Each of those days, you have existing home sales on Thursday and Friday, consumer price index, an inflationary indicator there. We also have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI and also the Services PMI reports. New home sales, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations reports are also due on Friday. Now, a lot of the data that's normally supposed to come out is not coming up because, of course, the government is shut down. So we're actually not seeing a lot of the data that we normally would, such as unemployment claims. But the market seems to be thriving on the momentum that that's enjoying. So, well, where does that put volatility? Well, we're looking at low for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, medium for Thursday, and Friday. It's going to be high volatility. Okay. Also expect elevated volatility when President Trump speaks. And these are situations when it just seems to chime in. I don't want to say unannounced, but we don't, they're not, these events are not scheduled too far out in advance. So we might discover a same day scheduled Trump speech. So we could wake up on a Tuesday and suddenly, oh, wait a second, Trump is scheduled to speak at 2 o'clock or whatever. Expect elevated volatility right then. All right, folks, I've got my lady here. She's telling us if you are looking for market success, join our tribe. Why? Simple. Simple. We have programs that work. We have programs that work. So what do we do? We have the trading room, a world famous, longest running trading room that we know of since 2010, hosted by yours truly. My name is Hugh, along with John, whom you just heard. This is where strategies come alive every morning, 9:20 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay. And learn and earn. These are interactive sessions. You get to ask questions in the questions box. Exciting trading. We teach what we trade, and we trade what we teach. Get your questions answered live in the trading room. And this is actually pretty cool. And this we do a lot of cool things in here as well. As an example, we recently turned $5,000 into $50,000 in less than 10 months. As a matter of fact, that should probably be 9 months because, and I'm going to change that because it was actually, let's say it was in September, which is actually 9 months. So I'm going to change that to 9 months. And September was a great year, a great month. In fact, John, in his trades, he had nearly 100% success rate. Excuse me. Um, Nobody gets that, folks. We got it. Okay. John and I in our trading room, these are the numbers we're getting. And why is that? Well, it's simple. We analyze the news, we analyze the fundamentals as our sort of key underlying premise that we're going to go on. And obviously, if there's something really blatantly obvious that we are seeing, we're going to have to take that into account. But we want to make sure that we see the news and we react to the news, and then we talk about the technical indicators. John mentioned Fibonacci, he mentioned ABCD patterns. He mentions, he'll talk about pitchforks. These are all things he looks at. I will look at things like exponential moving averages, moving average convergence divergence, pivot points, support resistance. We cross over on a lot of things, but again, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. That's not just a saying, that actually works extremely well, and that's the reason why our trades actually work very well. Now, in the trading room, this is where you're going to learn everything. There's no stone left unturned. The trading room is where it's at, and that's where you should be because you are going to learn how to fish versus getting a fish every day. By the way, we do have fish that we hand out every day. DTS Signal, Day Trade Spy Signal. This is a particular option sent to your cell phone 3 to 5 times a week, usually in the mornings. I think it's always in the mornings. It's algo based. All right. Immediately buy it and then put it up for sale for 5% gain. If not sold by the end of the day, sell it at the market close. Now, day trade spy signal. I'm just kind of bouncing around here. Where does it go? Let's go back in. Um, Amazing success rate, close to 90%. This is ideal for people who may not be able to get in front of a computer and being in our trading room every morning. Maybe they're out on the road, they're doing work, they're taking the kids to school, or driving a school bus, or I don't know, whatever it is that you might be busy in the morning. All right, but if you've got your cell phone with you, pull up your cell phone, pull up your trading platform. As soon as you get the signal, wherever you are, sometime during the morning, you'll want to get into the trade and just pick up a nice, quick, easy 5%. Okay. Very good program, works very well. This leads us into our other program where you're given a fish, but this one's called the pick of the day. A little bit different than the signal. Right? Instead of an algo-based signal that can come at any time in the morning, the pick of the day is delivered to your inbox at 9 in the morning, 5 times a week. And you might even get a report that says no trade today. If you get that, that means that probably the volatility is way too high. You're going to get burned. So if you get a report like that, which is very rare, but it has happened probably 3 times all year, that means just sit on your hands, do not trade. These are hand-picked trades to be bought at market open. And this is where John and I get together before the market opens and we hammer out, is it going up or is it going to go down? Immediately you buy it, you put it up for sale for 6% profit target, and you can hold it overnight. Now, those people who know what we're doing for both the pick of the day and the day trade spy signal make much, much more than the 5 and 6% because they know how to write it up, right? And they'll walk away with, for example, on Friday, one of our picks, I think, cleared, was it 30% in about, I just want to say a few minutes. I remember the 30%. So this is what we show you. Now, every program out there has to have some measure of success. So that's why we say use a 6% guide here, okay? But a lot of people make much, much more than the 6%. Now, these traditionally actually sell over, very quickly. But if you do need to hold them overnight, it's not really a problem because plenty of time built into these options that should you need to hold overnight, you can. Okay, it's actually pretty cool. All right, next up, we actually have the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle has been running since May of 2010. You're going to get our morning market assessment that is sent to you at 9 o'clock. It goes right to your inbox. You'll also get a follow-up report later in the day or the evening as to what we actually did. You'll be invited to our Wednesday night weekly meetups. This is what John was talking about. These meetings, if you cannot make them, not a problem. They are recorded for later review. And this is an outstanding way to get started, especially if you are new. And it's also a great way to stay in the know if you are a seasoned trader because it's actually the most affordable service that we have. Okay, so I can tell you that some people who have this, they may not trade every day, they might not even read this every day, but they say that even if I read it once or twice a week, it's well worth the cost. I benefit greatly. Why? Because we do the heavy lifting. We do the heavy lifting. John and I do the heavy lifting, right? And I think that's really kind of important. That's really kind of important. Um, so what else do we have to talk about? Excuse me, I cleared my throat here. Just looking at the time, and I don't want to keep you too long, and gonna go to some questions. Any questions? Okay, let's get to some quick questions here. Wow, lots of rolling and lots of questions rolling in here. Okay, a lot of good evenings. Can you give us some guidelines when doubling down to cost average down on option premium on expiration day using zero date expiration? Mark, you like to live dangerously. He's asking for some guidelines when doubling down to cost average down on options that expire the same day. Well, okay, what you want to do is you'll want to use the same parameters that we use to get into a trade. Um, and again, rather than getting into all the detail here, this is really a trading room kind of a question where we can get into some, the finer details of how to place a trade, what to look for. But you'll want to just get in. Then you also want to make sure there's plenty of room to grow into. But here's the key: if you're using zero date expiration, um, that's a very dangerous kind of a trade, right? Uh, I won't say I never do zero date expirations. My trades, generally speaking, have plenty of time. I like to have lots of time in my trades. Zero date expiration is a high risk trade, and I generally do not like to put good money after bad on that one. If it turns against me, I'll have to make a decision either to wait it out or to exit and just take a loss. That's kind of my thing. It depends on how much time I have left, how deep the market is against you. But generally, I like to stay away from averaging in on zero date expiration trades. Once in a while, I will do that, but I will accept the risk. Um, I mean, you have to be convinced it's going to come back up in your direction, assuming you're going to the upside. So, and again, use our entries. I like to as a rule, this is a guideline, but it's not complete. But number one, get in when the 10 crosses the 20 EMA on the make sure it's going your direction on the 5. Enter when it's crossing over on the 1 minute chart. Make sure you have lots of room to grow into, lots of room to grow into, and make sure you have as much time as you possibly can. I think if it was by the afternoon, I would probably just not even bother because it's you're going to lose a lot of data loss very quickly on zero data expirations. So, all right, moving along. Central Florida for Matthew, Santa Barbara. I think I talked about some of these people. Okay. Savannah, Georgia. Good to see you there, John. John McKay. Um, okay. Really appreciate you doing these Sunday night sessions. Thank you. Thank you for that, Mark. Mark J. Uh, Maureen subscribed to some months ago and forgot all about it. Didn't make use. Good to have you back. Come on back here, Maureen. Good to have you back. Okay, and I got a lot of different venues for social media you would like to see. We'll definitely get it on those. Um, Facebook and what are some of the other ones here? Instagram, YouTube. I think I like the YouTube videos. Yeah, we're gonna get in on all these here. Okay, we're gonna try and get in as many as we can, right? So, okay, we'd like to create a YouTube channel because YouTube's the only social internet thing I know. Yeah, I'm a big fan of YouTube. I like watching YouTube videos. Late night TV. I pull up YouTube videos. I learn a lot of cool things on YouTube, things that you don't see on Netflix. Netflix is great for movies, but I like to see some really informative documentary type things on YouTube. All right, give the schedules again. My email is single. Okay, well, Maureen, if you're a subscriber to the trading room, you should get the schedule. It is sent out for the week, if this is what you're referring to. The schedule for the week is sent out on Sundays at 4 o'clock. If you are already a member, you should have that by 4 a little after, okay? All right, Carlos, for DayTradeSPY, suggested using around 10% of the balance per trade. If the average profit per winning trade is 5%, about 12 signals per month, with an 80% win rate, that would mean the balance would only grow by 10% monthly. Is this realistic? Um, okay, so when we say make 5% per day, we're talking about the money that is invested in the trades. Okay, we're talking about that, and so the signals. All right, so the signal day trade spy signal 3 to 5 times, say 4 times a week, 4 times 4. You probably get about 16, 18 signals a week. And it's got about a 90% win rate. Got about a 90% win rate. And you would sell the signal at the end of the day, whatever the market will give you. We do very well with it. We're very much in it. I don't have the numbers, statistics. Let me see if I can find them real quick. If I can't find them in the next few seconds, then I will probably not. So I'm not sort of at my home computer right now. I've got kind of a funny system I'm going on, so I may not be able to pull it up here what the track record is of the day trade spy signal. And of course, we also have the pick of the day. I don't have these numbers handy, but okay, they've been doing very well. There's the odd loser, but as a rule, yeah, I don't have it handy here. They do very well. They do very well. You might want to try it. So that's how I would suggest to do. Try it first, see if you like it, and if you do, paper trade it. A lot of people do that. They'll buy something, they'll paper trade it for a little bit, and then they'll say, okay, it looks good. So then they stay with it. I should also tell you that our programs, all those programs you see online, which by the way are more expensive than what you could have found in the show that we had show specials. We know we encourage people to buy these programs at the show because they get a really good discount. But either way, all of our programs, you have 30 days. If you really don't like it, if it's not serving your purposes, you have 30 days with which to contact Eagle and just simply cancel. No mess, no fuss, nothing like that. Just say it's not for me. I'd like to cancel. Okay, no problem. They'll give you your money back. How cool is that? Interesting. You think tomorrow morning the market can go up even more? Will it start to drop down to match the rise? I haven't looked at the market, Alex. But I'm guessing tomorrow, with no low or no news day, it'll be mostly technical trading. I think the market is sitting at a pretty good support level right now. I could see it, well, at least the last time I saw was I could see a move back to the upside if it holds true, if it holds into what we saw recently. All right, we'll see what happens. Right, okay. All right, money help want. Forgive me, money. Are you trading other stocks besides SPY? Are we trading other stocks besides SPY? Do you day trade only on SPY? Okay, we only day trade on SPY options and we don't trade any other stocks. Now that might surprise some people. They say, well, why don't you diversify? Well, I can't think of a more diverse stock than SPY because all 11 sectors are represented on SPY. SPY is the most liquid traded ETF, exchange traded fund out there. It's the highest traded. The volume is phenomenal with SPY. SPY stock, I've seen many times over 100 million shares traded a day. Sometimes I've seen over 400 million shares trade when you have things like triple or quadruple witching days or um, those kinds of days when you have high volume. Um, SPY is the greatest tradable instrument out there. It's very predictable. It's very forgiving. So you can buy, unlike say some of the other ETFs out there that may not be quite as predictable, or like the Qs. It's going to be a good movement on the Qs, but here's the thing with the Qs: those are tech-heavy stocks, and the first stock to go, should there be a bit of a meltdown, is the Qs, right? The tech-heavy, because they're the highest valued stocks out there. Likewise, when something really good happens, right away the first stocks to enjoy move up are going to be the tech stocks. It's just too volatile. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Where SPY has it sort of evened out a little bit. It's just a little easier to trade. And yes, we day trade them. So when you find something that works really, really well for you, this is what happened with me. Okay, I mean I've been trading other stocks before in the past and ETFs and you name it, I probably traded it. I didn't. I never got into what is it the fungible, what do they call those assets, the little pictures or whatever I never did that. I never did Forex. Actually, that's not true. I dabbled in Forex many years ago and so they have these robots, right? And the Forex robots seem to do very well. And then as soon as I transitioned into real money, using the robots, something changed. It was like a vacuum cleaner. In 1 week, it sucked $5,000 out of my account. I said, "Oh, this is where this stops. We're done with this," and we were. So I did not have good fortune with forex, um, and I looked at other things too, but I kept coming back to SPY. I understood those very well, and I was making some pretty good money on SPY options, and that's when people started to notice. It's kind of like you lose your car keys, then you find your car keys. Then, well, guess what? You stop looking, right? You found them. So when I found SPY options, they worked very well for me. Why would I look for anything else? I was quite happy with it, and I did very well with it. And that's when people noticed and coerced me into showing them. So that's why we only stay with SPY. So, excuse me. Right. What other questions here? Do you exit on SPY options, or are you trying to let them expire worthless? Oh, no, no, no. We never want to let them expire worthless. My goal is to get out of my positions quickly. I get into them and out of them very quickly. Remember as a kid, maybe you don't remember this, but as a kid, I know we used to play this game. This was a school game we used to play during recess. It was called hot potato. Somebody throws you a ball and you got to get rid of it right away. And I think everybody stood around in a circle. You get the ball thrown at you. Well, you got to catch it and throw it to somebody else real quick. I kind of forgot what the end goal was here. I think that maybe if you drop it, then you got to fall out of the game or whatever. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready to receive this ball and get rid of it very quickly. Uh, and they called it a hot potato. Anyway, that's kind of what options is. Option is not a buy and hold strategy. You want to get rid of it as soon as you buy it, right? That's kind of the objective there. Now, even though we want to get rid of it right away, we still like to buy time, because time is insurance, so that you have a low theta loss. And that's exactly why the zero date expirations, should something like this happen to you, what happened to you 2 Fridays ago, where the stock suddenly dropped and you're holding the hot potato, you lose, right? The value is not there, you're losing it, and now it's gone. Whereas if you have an option that's expiring a week or so out, you got plenty of time and a low theta loss. That's actually pretty cool. So, good to focus on SPY for starters, for leisure lifestyle trading. Don't want to watch like a hawk. Absolutely true. You want to make sure that you minimize all the risks as you possibly can, so you can maximize your gains. So. All right, here's a question here. Actually, I got this question a couple days ago at the Money Show. If I want to fully automate this process and can make a bot for reading your day trades by signals and place them in the broker, setting uh, the TP and trailing stop, will that be okay? Well, Carlos, you're kind of on your own with that. I'm not sure how you're going to automate that. I know some of our things are signals are sent out manually, or like a better word, it's not automated. We have algorithms that send things out, but I guess when you receive the signal, however, if your software can identify what we're doing and convert that into an actionable plan on your trade, then go for it. Knock yourself out. Um, you'll probably be very successful at it. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, let's see other questions here. Are you doing vertical options, and assume you are not doing credit spreads? We do not do any spreads at all. No spreads, no naked positions. All right, no spreads, no naked positions, nothing ultra high risk. What we do is we buy and sell. All right, we buy and sell first. We buy, then we sell calls and puts straight like that. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have the contest, ladies and gentlemen. What I want you to do here is put a number in the questions box. Going to give you about 30 seconds to do this. The number is going to be from 1 to 100. 1 to 100, and I got to find where is it? I actually have a really cool random number generator. And if I can find that baby, then that means I will be able to use it. Oh, here it is right here. I knew it was here somewhere. Kind of like spinning the wheel, right? All right, my random number generator. Okay, let me take a look here. I'm going to pull it up. Okay, so the person who is going to get closest to the number that we are going to pick is going to receive an ebook, which is entitled Triumphs and Tragedies. Okay, so I'm going to give you another few seconds here to um, to put your number in, and it's currently 9:04. Oh my gosh, 9:04. When we hit 9:05 on my clock here, then we're going to end the inputs here. You better make sure you have your number in. If you have not yet picked a number, just pick a number. Any random number will do. And we are going to pick somebody, and if two people are tied, then you both get the ebook. Okay, you both get the ebook. So it's gonna be pretty cool, right? Yesterday or last week we had two winners. Two winners. We'll see if we get the two winners this time too. So all right, it just flipped over to 9:05. We are closing the questions box, and Johnny L, you are the last. All right, now I'm going to bring in the random number generator. All right, here it is right here. Now that's not the number, folks. 16 is not the number. I'm going to hit this button right here. This is going to generate it right here. And I think it is 3, 2, 1. Let's see what the number is going to be. It's 47. The number is 47. Let me take a look and see who is our lucky winner here tonight. All right. We are going to go all the way to the top. Okay, hopefully we'll get somebody spot on. And let me see. Okay, Rainy. Rainy came at 43. All right. Rainy came in at 43. So Rainy is 4 cents away. 47. Tom S is at 48. 48 for Tom S. Okay, let me see who else do we have. 48. Okay, nobody. Okay, so Tom S is the winner. He came in at 48. The winner is the number is 47. Tom, you are going to have the ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies, delivered to your inbox shortly. And I think with that, we are going to call it a night now, folks. Don't forget, if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. Been a pleasure, folks. We'll see you hopefully in the trading room tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.
Stepping now, you're the one. Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell